The Kybalion is a study of the Hermetic philosophy of ancient Egypt and Greece, written by 3 initiates. The Kybalion contains the 7 Hermetic principles, which I will cover in 7 videos. These secret doctrines, based upon world-old Hermetic teachings, help us to understand the nature of reality and the nature of self. It's important that us as light bringers understand these teachings, and not just those who would seek to control us. Hence, I give you my understanding of them.
Greetings, my dears, in love and light. I'm Nikki Sutton, and this is the Hermetic principle of cause and effect. Every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. Everything happens according to law. Chance is but a name for law not recognized. There are many planes of causation, but nothing escapes the law, the Kybalion. So cause and effect deals with events in life. That's what we're talking about here. That when something happens, anything at all, there is a cause for it. And that every cause results in an event, even down to the smallest things. For example, having a thought about something might lead to us taking behaviours which will change our environment or affect other people. Or a leaf falling off a tree might cause it to rot down a little bit and enrich the soil, causing another plant to grow there more healthily. Everything has its cause, and every cause has an effect. So in that quote from the Kybalion, every cause has its effect, every effect has its cause. Everything, no matter what, even small effects have their causes. So we're talking about everything that happens, I mean literally everything. So this implies that nothing ever merely just happens. That everything kind of happens because it's supposed to. And this might be relatable to the concept that creation is one infinite being. One infinite, energetic, information-based being that we are all part of. We are this consciousness. We are this being, which is divided into sub-consciousnesses. And we are focal points of that being, sub-consciousnesses. And that consciousness is everywhere, because the atoms, the energy, is in everything. It's in the inanimate objects. It's in us. It's in the animals. It's in the trees. It all implies this one energy being part of everything is all the same information-based, energetic, infinite being. Now what I'm getting at is that if everything is happening within this one being that you could call God, then it's all happening for a purpose, because if creation wants it to happen, then it does, because everything is creation. Creation is one being experiencing itself. Everything that goes on is creation experiencing itself. So nothing merely ever just happens. It's caused to happen because creation causes it to happen. Another part of that quote, everything happens according to the law. Chance is but a name for law not recognized. Well, the Kybalion states there is no such thing as chance. So, for example, when you roll a couple of dice, you might think that by chance it's come out with a certain result, certain numbers. But really, it's not chance. There's been a cause for why it's come out that certain way. Because perhaps the dice are put in the pot a certain way, the pot has a certain smooth or rough surface inside of it, it was shaken a certain number of times, it was chucked at a certain angle, and the dice hit the ground in a certain way, and the ground was bumpy. It caused it to come out that way. But of course, probabilities come into play according to the law. As it says, everything happens according to law. So if you roll the dice 100 times, there's going to be a pattern in the results, because it's working according to the laws of this creation. There's certain laws and certain probabilities that when the context, the environment is constant, when the environmental conditions are constant, over time, certain amounts of repetitions, due to probability, cause a pattern of results. but the dice fell in a certain way each time due to causal factors. So even things that you can measure up using probability have each event been caused by certain factors. So there's no such thing as chance. Everything happens due to causal factors. Anything that you can think of was caused by something. Now, this doesn't mean that there's not random catalysts in reality. All that happens is because creation wants it to happen. Creation allows all sorts of things to happen for our learning and experience, for its learning and experience. But it does throw random catalysts our way, random events our way, for our own learning and experience. Some of it we attract to ourselves, much of it we do. But I'm a firm believer that creation throws us curveballs. But these too are not by chance. It might seem random to us, but creation wishes it to happen for our learning and experience, for its learning and experience. So how does all of this affect you? Well, the Kybalion explains that the adept realizes they can become the causer instead of being subject to the effects. Many of us spend our time being subject to the effects of things, but we can take more control of our reality just by perceiving ourselves as the causer rather than being subject to effects. And if we are the subject of effects, then we don't need to take it too harshly, because we can become the causer more often than not. So this eliminates the victim mentality that we might have, or feeling like we're having bad luck. Or we might stop resting on our laurels, therefore, and stop having a feeling of futility about things, because we can become the causer. Because every event has a cause, so why not do some causing? If you're feeling like there's no point in starting a project, well, know that your actions have an effect. You're causing something. You may not be able to guarantee what the outcome is, but you can still cause more often. And if effects happen to you, you can pick yourself up and cause some more. The Kybalion also says that those who realize they help to play the game of life. So you can play the game of life rather than just be subject to its effects, as I said. Play the game. You'll learn and experience more anyway. I hope this gives you motivation to move forward with things, with your aims and things you want to do. Because you can be the causer. And to not allow ourselves to be subject to and at the mercy of those with stronger wills than us. Oftentimes those with a strong will be the causes. They will cause things to happen that they want. They have strong wills to do so. They may not be too consciously aware of all of this. I'm not saying you have to have a strong, ironclad will, but being aware that you need not be at the mercy of those with stronger wills. You can recognise what's going on and be the causer more often, as I said. So in this way, we end up not being carried along by events. We need not be carried along by everything that's going on. We can put a stop to things. We can set up our boundaries. We can change things. We can set new events in motion, because every action you take, every cause will have an effect. You will have an effect, no matter what you do. Now, it also states in the Kybalion that we may be subject to causation of higher planes. So the higher planes tend to take precedence over the lower ones. So let's say higher dimensions of existence, higher densities, take precedence over the lower ones. Here's some examples of how there's certain causation that we are subject to. Let's say the weather. The weather we don't have too much control over. Well, some say that there are those in our reality that do control the weather. I'm not questioning that, but us, normal people, we don't control the weather, so we are subject to that. We are subject to astrological alignments and what the planets are doing. We don't have control over that. So there are things in higher planes which we are subject to, but we accept that and we become adept at being the causer in our reality. in our plane of existence. We know that what we do, everything we do, has an effect. It's also helpful in terms of service to others type behaviours. We realise that we can do little things or even bigger things and they'll have effects on people. We can help people and it will have an effect. Also, to refrain from negative activities like throwing a load of rubbish on the beach. That's going to have an effect somewhere down the line as well. Every thought we think, every act we perform has its direct and indirect results which fit into the great chain of cause and effect. Everything how it is now is as a result of a load of causes. For example, a thought by a religious person questioning their belief. Just a mere thought of questioning your belief might change your actions in the future. It might change your whole life. Two of your ancestors 10,000 years ago making love. You're here right now, as you are now, physically. Maybe your soul might be in another incarnation or what have you, but you are as you are now due to people 10,000, a million years ago making love. Think of all the different factors that came into play to produce you being here right now. All those causes, all those effects. And this is how we are now. A pat of a dog, increasing the happiness of both you and the dog, changing the behaviours of both of you. It might slightly change your perception of life, change your vibration. Pat of the dog, my vibration raises a little bit, dog's vibration raises a little bit, we have a nicer day. So even the smallest things, every act we perform has an outcome, has an effect. And as I touched upon, we're more often at the mercy of causes around us than we think we are. And this is what the adept can realise, that we are more often at the mercy of causes than we think. And this is where we can really start to change things as well. We're often at the mercy of other people's moods, at the mercy of events that are happening around us, at the mercy of the weather, of the time, what time of day and how much time we have left, at the mercy of our beliefs we've picked up during our lifetime that have certain causes, other people's beliefs, societal beliefs. We're at the mercy of those causes causing effects in us, at the mercy of other people's opinions, societal opinions, political opinions, economics, all sorts of things. We're at the mercy of these events around us, of causes around us that have effects on us. And we can see, hang on, I'm not going to be affected by that cause anymore. I'm going to turn it around. I'm not going to be at the mercy of those causes anymore having effects on me. So real quick, we can talk about karma for a second. We can observe the effects we have on others and the effects that they have on us. There was all causes for it. If we pay attention and learn from these causes and effects, we may not have to repeat the lessons again later in this lifetime or in another lifetime. We see the effects we've had on others. We pay attention and learn. We pay attention and learn to the effects they've had on us. And we can break that karma by becoming aware, breaking the cycle, having forgiveness. Forgiveness is the eradicator of karma, and learning from it is also eradicator of karma. The key is becoming aware of all of this and not being at the mercy of these causes around you affecting you, and become the causer in love and light as well, I recommend. So I hope you found this useful on the Hermetic principle of cause and effect. You can see in the description below links to the other Hermetic principles that I have also discussed in other videos. And just to let you know, I've created an online interactive course for you guys. It's entitled Inner Work for Ascension, Discovering Your True Self, and it helps you to discover your true self. And you can find out about that and enroll if you like on nikkisutton.com. Also, if you'd like to receive bonus videos from me every week, please consider supporting this channel at patreon.com/nikkisutton. So don't forget to click subscribe if you're not already a subscriber to receive regular spiritual inspiration on your journey through life, because we're raising the mass vibration together. So go now in love and peace.